Good afternoon. I'm up at Mandurang, I think it is, just south of Bendigo. I'm doing a bit of a loop today. I'm going to walk out and then walk back along the dry diggings track along the old aqueduct. A bit unusual today. First time in a long time in Victoria. It's raining, so I haven't got the wet weather gear on yet. I might put my jacket on in a few minutes if this rain keeps up. It's getting a little bit heavy. All right, this is one of the walks Glen Tempests wrote in his Goldfields book. I've done it before. Always fancied this one in summer because there's a big dam you can swim in, but it's far from summer today. All right, there's a bit of nav on the first bit of this one. I'm starting from a slightly different spot. Once I hit the Goldfields Track though, it's all pretty easy. All right, I'll spin the camera and show you what I'm looking at. So I'm just making my way through this kind of open woodland. It's not a formal track, it's just a kind of faint vehicle track that I'm kind of losing and gaining, but we'll get there. I think I have to knock around it. I think it's a little bit further to my right, the track I'm looking for. But anyway, we'll duck down here and I'll meet up with something soon enough. There's a bit of this vague stuff, but it's mostly four-wheel drive tracks and quiet roads and the aqueduct, so it's not particularly hard to find. This will be it here. I can see a bit of a benched kind of track. Yeah. All right, we're on the right track. Let's get walking. I might put the camera away because this rain's getting to be a little bit kind of insistent. I don't think it'll hang around for that long though. Okay, so the rain stopped. So, well, for a little bit. So what this walk is this is in a kind of dry open, they call this a dry diggings area in the gold mining days. So it's dry open kind of eucalypt forest. There's a lot of mining history around here. Yeah, there's not going to be a walk full of huge scenic highlights. But it is a nice little stroll. This one will probably come in around 16 k's, all going well. It's actually quite nice to walk in slightly different conditions. Although I do like a blue sky and the sun. So there's some old mine shafts just beside the track there. So this dam is normally, well, when I've been here before, it's chock-a-block full. I've always thought it'd be a good spot for a swim in summer, but I'm not missing much today. So I've been following Hogan Road for a little while, a few minutes, but I'm heading back into the bush now. This bush is, I think it's called the Greater Bendigo National Park, all this country. There's another dam. It'll probably be dry too, I reckon. Oh, this one would still be swimmable, maybe. So I've been walking quiet roads mostly and four-wheel drive tracks, so there hasn't been a lot of video. I'm about 4 or 5 k's into it, I guess. The walk improves immensely once I meet the dry diggings track or the Goldfields track and I start walking the water race. This is almost like suburbs of Bendigo. There's all these weekender houses out here now scattered through the bush. So I'm kind of following another kind of series of informal tracks across here towards Sandhurst Reservoir, and that's where I pick up the Goldfields track. So this little bit of the walk is actually, there's a lot of tracks, and as long as you keep an eye on the map you'll always get to the reservoir, but it's a little bit tricky from memory staying on the exact route, so it pays to keep an eye on the map through here. And there's a lot of these kind of semi-dodgy kind of weekenders or rural properties scattered around in the middle of the bush. You don't really want to walk onto their property. So yeah, all good though. I'm probably only 20 minutes from the reservoir now. Almost looks like I might be walking into a bit more rain, eh? So this is where you got to have a bit of an eye on the map. So there's like a four-way intersection of tracks. You know, one there, one up there, one over there. If I'm right, I mean, this is the right one. I think last time I just kind of followed where the white posts were, and they more or less got me onto over to the reservoir. I could be wrong there. We'll see when I go a bit further. But look, at the end of the day, if you watch your map, you're going to get there anyway. So the nav's still going pretty good, I think. And the rain's holding off for now. I reckon late winter, spring, all these wattles will be putting on a real good show. Okay, I've made it to the Goldfields Track. I'm kind of going to be skirting around the reservoir, Sandhurst Reservoir, in a minute. You can't, well, from memory, you can't actually see the reservoir through the trees for the most part. But once I get past the reservoir, I meet up with the water race that I follow for quite a few kilometres. That's nice walking along there. This has been very pleasant walking, to be honest with you. Okay. That is Sandhurst Reservoir through the trees, and that is about the best view I'll get of it. Okay, I've met the old aqueduct. Now I'm following that for kilometres. Dry at the moment, which I suppose makes sense. It's been a very dry period in Victoria. Hopefully we're coming into winter. Hopefully get some rain soon. Alright, as you can imagine, the walking's fairly level for a while now. However, I do weave around a lot as the aqueduct contours around the low hills. I'm still in the greater Bendigo National Park here. I'm getting a bit hungry though, so I think I'll stop for lunch soon. Cheers, cold. There's not a lot of wind, but when the wind does blow, it's bitingly cold. Which I suppose is to be expected, considering we're only 2 weeks out of winter. So obviously I'm still following the aqueduct. So I reckon back in the day, the original aqueduct was on the left-hand side of the track here in spots. I mean, that could be a feral fact, but that definitely looks like that's definitely man-made, obviously. There was some kind of a sluice gate in there at some stage. Oh, this is a new sign. It's good to see some money's getting spent on the Goldfields Track. So yeah, obviously this was built to bring water to the old goldfields back in the 1800s. So it's about 4 o'clock. It's getting dark at about 5:15, 5:30 at this time of the year, so I'll be finished by the time it's dark though, I think. Probably got about an hour to go, I guess. I've been relatively lucky with the rain. I chucked the wet weather gear on when I left the car for a while, but apart from that, it's been pretty good. It's about, it's a balmy 7 or 8 degrees there, I guess. It's pretty chilly, but at least it's not wet. So I'm leaving the Goldfields Track here. That crosses over, and there's actually a campsite up there for the Goldfields Track. And for Goldfields Track walkers, there's a tank here too. So if the water race is dry, you can get some water here. All right, I'm about to drop down onto the road down the left down here. All right, I'm going to hit this road and swing left, and the car's about 2 k's, maybe a bit less down the road. So yeah, there's about, I don't know, a kilometre or 2 of this bitumen road to walk. There's a good shoulder though. It's a pretty quiet road. You get to see roos and alpacas too. I don't know if they're coming up. That's some big roos in there. And some cute alpacas. Okay, just getting back to the car. I walked about 16.3 k's, climbed about 250 metres or something. It's a very easy walk, this one. It's just a bit long. 16 k's is a fair walk, but if anyone does it, there's not a lot in the way of elevation to concern you. There is a bit of navigation involved, so you need a map of some description for this one, because once you're on the Goldfields Track, it's pretty cruisy, but the link kind of section to make it into a circuit, there's a bit of to and froing on that. So it's a walk written up by Glen Tempest, in his Victorian Goldfields book back in the day. It's not that old, that book. It's probably only 12 years old or something. So in relative terms, it's not that old. I don't think it's on all trails. I created an all trail map from the notes. So yeah, the best bit is either for this one is to grab a copy of Glen Tempest's old notes, or jump onto it. Look, you could jump onto your mapping app and make your own kind of version of the circuit, I suppose. All right, I'm heading back. We're staying in Bendigo tonight. Sam's down at the gallery. So I'm heading back into town for a night and have a warm shower. I'll catch you on the next one. Take it easy.